is. Can you hear it? I'll fix your mic right now. All right. We're going to get started here a little bit. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What's going on, everybody? It's Flow Res, and this is Boom Bap Recovery. Coming at you live with another episode every Wednesday, 10 to 11 p.m. And I got my man, Blake, in the building. Thank you, buddy, for coming through. I appreciate you, man. I see you. First and foremost, I see you, man. I see what you do in the recovery community, man. You have a strong message, and I'm so excited to finally have you here to have a candid conversation, brother. So I'm gonna fix your headphones right now, but we're live. The YouTube is live. I'm gonna share that again one more time to get more people in the chat. But introduce yourself, man, and we'll kick things off in a little bit.
So my name's Blake. I'm from Covina. Grateful to be here. Thank you, Ignacio, for having me. We've been trying to get this dialed in for a minute now. I'm glad to be here. Speak my truth. That's what it is.
That's right. All right. So we have a little mic difficulties right now. We're going to get this figured out. But how you feeling today, man? You were just at Six Flags.
Right.
Tell me about that. I want to get this thing going.
Shoot, and it's my second time at Six Flags. Got to take some outpatient clients. It was 105 degrees, mind you, up in Santa Clarita, and a blast. To be told, we had a great experience, a little sunburn, a little drain, but it's all good, you know?
All right, man. Well, we can take the headphones off, man. Having a little bit of difficulties. We're just going to use this mic here, and we just got to go with it, man. Anyway, brother, thank you for being here. We're live. Let's get this conversation started, man. So I like to start at the very beginning, man. And back at our earliest memories of life, how we grew up, how our childhood was like, and where are you from? What was it like growing up? Did you have a big family? And what was your first experience with drugs and alcohol, man?
Got you. All right, so like I said, I'm born in Covina, California. Shout out to my Covina boys. My parents, I was the only child, Shout out to my dad, by the way. He's always tried to straighten me the right way, but I was just a misfit. I was the type to hear it, but not internalize it and use it at all. It started off being a goofball. I remember in kindergarten, waking up on Saturday morning, first one up and going to my neighbors and knocking on the door to see if so-and-so can play, and the parents were like, he's sleeping, go home, and I remember something wrong with me? Wait, what did I do, And, I kind of wanted to fit in as far as just, just fit in. I just want to be a part of it, Just always want to be a part of whatever that consists of, getting in trouble, all that.
Check.
Girls, sports became a big thing as a youngster. I was really into hockey.
Check.
7 years old to high school, And my first experience with using and drinking was the summer of 7th grade. I met these punk rock kids, and mind you, I'd been a mama's boy my whole life. So every time my mom and dad would want to go out, have dinner and stuff, I'd be like, no, they would want me to stay with my grandparents or my aunts, and I was just a mama's boy, bro. I just didn't let them have their own, life. I was just tied to her. And but mind you, when I met these punk rock kids, I was like, their parents let them do whatever they wanted, and it was like a new way of life. I had met them, and I started getting into the music, going to shows, and I remember from 7th to 8th grade that summer, I had tried every drug there was, man.
7th to 8th grade.
7th to 8th
you
grade.
Were very, very young.
Yeah. Everything besides heroin, and I'll get to that in a little bit, all right?
Okay.
I thought I was meant to be born in the 70s type stuff. I was into Pink Floyd, The Doors, Jimi Hendrix. And it was it got me out of me, and I didn't even know what I struggled with back then as far as acceptance of fitting into who I was. But it was an uncomfortable feeling to try to find myself, you know what I'm saying? As far as like, you know, I like to skate, I like to play hockey, but where do I fit in, you know what I'm saying? And that became like an outlet, you know? I just continued smoking weed, honestly. And 10th grade, I got a possession of marijuana ticket at high school. Mind you, at a homeschool. So one time a week we go turn in our work.
So you got caught on your day off.
Right. No, so I was smoking a joint on the way to school, and I put the half of it in my sock. And anyways, got caught. My mom picked me up from the station. My first introduction to the law enforcement, right? She picked me up from the station. And mind you, I love you, Ma, but like you were my best friend / enabler, and she knows what's up, but it's all good. She picked me up from the station. It's like, Blake, what are you thinking? And I go, I don't know, Ma. It wasn't me. She's like, why don't you just do it at home? Why would you bring it to school? And I'm like, oh, for sure then, you know. And I took off with that. Yeah, and it was only weed at the time. I was like a strictly weed diet, you know what I'm saying? But because I couldn't smoke weed because I got put on probation for that charge, I needed something, right, to get out of self, and that became alcohol, and it was being supplied to me, and it was like my homies are over and we're just taking advantage of the situation, and that's when my alcoholism really turned to like it was every day, all day. It became my personality. I felt like, you know, that would if I wasn't buzzing, it wasn't my personality. You know, it became like a trait. But still not knowing that I suffered from a disease of addiction, alcoholism. I played with this disease not even knowing, right? Soon after, I would say maybe 6 months after that, I was introduced to graffiti. And I was introduced to underground hip hop, which became my whole new lifestyle. It was like, this is a whole new world. Graffiti was a great outlet, you know. Shout out to my boys, AGF crew, At God's Fate, all respect and love. It was a great outlet, you know, addicting. Before the hard drugs became take hold, graffiti was my drug, you know what I'm saying, and it kept me on probation from 16 or 17 to 34, and I'm 38 now.
So let me just interject here because I love hip hop.
Yeah.
The 5 elements. And graffiti was, you know, the visual one that just. Like I got in trouble myself,
right?
You know, for doing it. You're telling me that not the drugs, but literally the graffiti kept you in trouble.
I'll tell you this:
you fell into it, and you identified with it, and
it was all about coming up with a style and a name and practicing that style. Wow. Just as if your hip hop form of MCing would be the same way. Check this out. So I used to catch dust tags in my refrigerator just so my dad would see, or in the bathrooms, you know, it fogs, just like goofball stuff. But it became addiction. Addiction. Violation, probation, all vandalism. You know, one of my homies from my crew, my best friend at the time, rest in peace, Rams, Andrew, rest in peace, man. He was my road dog. Everywhere we went, we were together, dog. My family took him in. He you know, vice versa, and mind you, I had tried heroin, like smoked heroin, but at the time I was a real alcoholic, and every time I would smoke heroin, I would throw up, you know, and I didn't understand it. I liked the effects produced. It felt great, but every time I would throw up, and I just came up on that bottle that I needed so badly, and now it's gone. So I didn't understand it at the time. He passed away in 2016 from a heroin overdose, and
rest in peace.
Yeah, man, and it really hit me, you know. I remember at his service, I got up. I was drunk, by the way, and I got up on the podium, and I'm like, because I knew there was other addicts in the crowd, you know, and my best thinking was like, hey guys, just stop. I'm like screaming to them, just stop, you know, like you guys are gonna die, right? And I swore off that I would never do that stuff, right? And 3 months later, man, I met her, right? I met her. Mind you, I'm on the street living in my homie's shed. Shout out to Crasher, good looking on that, you know what I mean? Like, so I was in his shed, you know, just doing bad, but I'm okay with it, you know, I'm like just doing bad, and I met her through a friend. She had a 3-bedroom apartment, and the first night I come over, racked the bottle, and I was at her pad. She didn't even drink, you know what I'm saying? We did our thing, whatever. I heard a knock on the door, and it it's her plug, it's her connect. And she's making up a shot of heroin. And she said, do you want some? Without hesitation, I was like, of course. Everything that just happened to my best friend went out the door.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Out the door.
Wow.
And I did that shot, and I don't remember anything till the next morning. Come to find out, I guess she stayed up all night breathing for me.
Wow.
And yeah, man, I woke up and she was still trying to find a vein. Breathing for me. This is before Narcan was available like that.
Wow,
Yeah, 2016.
Lucky to have you right now.
That's one of many, you know what I'm saying? And yeah. But so I woke up the next morning, she was still trying to do her thing as far as like finding a vein. And I said to her, what are you doing? Like, this is crazy. Like, I felt I was sick and I was like throwing up, and I'm like, how do you do this? She goes, oh, you got to get used to it, you know? You want a little more? Oh, there it is, you know? And she moved me in, by the way, moved me in. Didn't know what sick was for 3 years, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. And it wasn't like I ever like subtracted or subtracted drugs or substances. It was always stacking stuff. So the fifth alcohol, you know, the heroin, Xanax when it was, I couldn't find heroin, PCP, methadone, and then 2017 came around and fentanyl came around, you know, and I'm already IV using heroin, so I get that and I'm on it. It's on, you know, it's on. Didn't realize that I thought I was invincible for so long, bro, for so long.
How old were you?
I was probably 30. Yeah, I remember turning 30 and
Still super young, still the rest of your life ahead of you. Right. Where was your mind state at this moment? You just mentioned that it was never like, okay, just let me slow down on this and let me start doing that. You're just kind of.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, essentially I like the effects produced by any substance, to get out of. Here it is. Come to find out, man, I don't know how to live life on life's terms. Reality scares me. Responsibilities, no, I'm not doing it, you know? And that all caught up to me. And when it was too late for me to kind of like take a chunk out of each little problem, it was like, no, no, we know how to get rid of this. We know how to momentarily get rid of this, you know what I'm saying? So I'll get into like basically what happened, man. Got into a lot of crime. I don't know if I can get details, you know, I've already done the time for it, but like just stupid stuff, man. Joyriding, GTA, just not respecting thy neighbor at all, you know? And basically I had all these warrants or, you know, non-appearances that added up, and I got caught up, and they offered me 2 years, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And did the time, and halfway through my sentence, man, I'm thinking to myself like, okay, I'm feeling good. I'm over the sickness. Mind you, I went into county jail kicking alcohol, fentanyl, methadone, Xanax. Then caught COVID. You know what I'm saying? 30 days, no sleep, miserable, like out of my mind. And so 6 months in, I started feeling healthier, you know, working out, eating, you know, getting my mind right. Yeah, dog. Yeah, all that. And I was like in my head, I know I got to get into a program upon release because I don't stand a chance out there. I just don't, you know. And I had overdose of, kind of going back, I've overdosed like 3 times prior to that, to getting incarcerated. But it was never like a scare tactic. I don't know. It was kind of like I was too scared to live, too scared to die. I didn't know how to live. I didn't know how to die, and that became the norm, man. And so a week to the house, man. I'm about to get released, and you know, I have my mom calling these treatment centers, and they want to see me in person to do intake, you know. So it wasn't really available like that. So I'm back to Covina. I'm back to the hood. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because like getting released from county jail, there's like a vending machine of Narcans, right? And my honest, true thinking at the time was, I'm gonna get like 10, 12 of these because I'm gonna save somebody's life, you know? I'm gonna save somebody's life. And deep down in the back of my mind, I knew that I was gonna need it on myself for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Went back to, you know, her pad and I knew she had it, but she wasn't allowing me to do it, you know, for 2 days. And I was like, hey, I can't stand this feeling, because I was getting butterflies. I was like, I don't know what's going on. The obsession. Come to find out, it's the obsession, right? And little to say, I ended up overdosing again pretty bad. And I woke up to her crying. I'm soaking wet, throwing up. And for some reason, you know, I never grew up religious or anything. My parents were both born and raised Catholic, went to Catholic school, and they kind of didn't want to force religion upon me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful for that, because I got to have my own little experience with life. And I heard something when I came to, man, and it was not me. It was something that was like, this is where you're gonna go each and every time. And I started crying, bro. I started crying. And I remember calling my little brother. I'm only child, but I called my little brother because we grew up together right across the street. Shout out Robert, Bobby, he knows what's up. I told him what happened, man, and he's like, man, you know, like, picked me up, and we went to my pop's pad to have a beer, of course, you know, that's what we do, me and my dad. And I finally told my dad, too. I was like, hey, Dad, I'm messing up, man. I just almost died, you know. And he was shocked. He kind of had the idea that, you know, I kind of kept it pretty low key, you know what I'm saying? I remember, like, coming through to his pad before that, had money. You know, I never really worked, dog. Like, I couldn't hold down a job. Drugs and alcohol were more important, you know? But I remember coming through with money, and he'd always tell me, you look good, you know? And I'm like, dude, I'm strung out. Like, I didn't tell him that, but in my head, I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm doing right. They say heroin preserves you. I don't know. But this time I told him myself, I was like, Dad, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm gonna die, you know? He's like, let's get you to your mom. My mom lives in Tahoe. And my brother drove me that night, dog, 8 hours to Tahoe, just to get my mind right, just to get away from, you know, the norm, like what I knew. Yeah. And I made some calls, man, and I'm thankful. Like, I'm just, you know, I kind of started feeling like I was a burden. Her and her fiance at the time, like, I was staying there. She was okay. She was great to see. She was grateful to see me. Last time she seen me, she came and visited me at county jail. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, man, I can't do this anymore. I spent so much of my life just being a burden. And maybe that's in my head, you know what I'm saying? But just burning bridges, bro. Like, losing trust and feeling that just negative self-talk at all times. Like, you're just not worth it. You're never gonna make anything of yourself, because you're never gonna attempt it. So you're better off just continue what you're doing. That's the disease that tells me, like, bro, you know. So I made some calls, man. I got into detox. My brother picked me up again, took me out to Pasadena, or to Pomona, went to detox, man. Not the ideal place to do detox, but I guess anywhere's, when you're ready, man. But they asked me if I want to do residential treatment, and I said preferably not here, you know. And I had heard of Grandview Foundation. Shout out to Grandview. Saved my life, man. I got to residential treatment, man. And I had asked the guys that had gone there like 3-4 times, because they're like, oh, this is my 3rd time at Grandview. And I'm like, bro, what is it you didn't try? Because, like, I don't stand a chance out there. I don't. Like, it's life or death. They're like, oh, man, I just stopped calling my sponsor. Never got a sponsor, you know. So I said, I need all that. I need all of it, you know. I don't want to miss nothing, like, you know. And my sponsor, shout out Jake, love you, dude. He runs
a lot of sponsors.
Yeah, taking the time to help.
Get sponsors.
Yeah, you know, that just, you know, break it down. I mean, like, I don't know shit. Let's get it. Oh, sorry, I don't know anything about this. All I know is that 1 is not enough and 1,000 is too many. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa, whatever. all I know, all I know is that I have no control over what I'm going to do under the influence, right? Even though I like to think I do, you know. So I asked him to sponsor me. He's like, yeah, once you get out of treatment. And I respect that, because I've had this same experience sponsoring other people myself. It's like, yeah, checking off the boxes, you know what I'm saying, like sponsored by name. And I can't get down with that, you know. It's just, I need somebody that really needs this, really wants to do it, you know. But so I asked them to sponsor me, and we got into the work. It's slowly but surely, man. It's thorough, very thorough, like 2 years thorough to get through the steps. And I'm thankful for that, man, that broke line by line, you know, just allowed me to understand what I really suffer from, you know what I'm saying? Because the drugs and alcohol were the solution to my problem for the longest time, and I thought that was the problem, you know. Allowed me to look back to my earliest memories and identify why I was seeking outside approval and trying to fit in as a youngster, you know. And just, man, I really didn't become a man, you know, a grown adult until I got sober. And it's crazy, man. Like, it's a complete 180 that, you know, what's crazy is that the idea of getting sober is a lot harder than actually, you know, maintaining your sobriety.
Isn't that the trip?
Yeah.
Isn't that the trip, man?
Yeah.
It's like we make things out way bigger than they actually are, which is why we kept drinking and kept using, right? Because I can't face that.
Fear.
I can't face, you know, I can't pay my taxes. I can't do this. I can't do that.
That's fun, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Let me go do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Numb this real quick. Yeah. All that. So mind you, I just want to shout out Sober Squad.
Sober Squad.
Yeah, representers. So going through treatment, man, I've always liked to be a part of something, like I said, whether it's tagging crews, neighborhood, like it's just trying to develop like my name or you know, be a part of something. And when I went through treatment, man, I came up with this name. And to be honest with you, I think it was a lot of ego. You know, I wanted to represent something in the rooms, which is like, what are you doing? You know. But in my head, it was like developing a positive, influential, like type of like representation of something positive, you know. And just with the name alone was kind of catchy. And thank God for some people in the rooms that came before me, because you know, I asked them to be a part of this, whatever that was, you know. Making shirts.
Tell me about it. Tell before we get on with the rest of your story. I think, you know, I mean, that's kind of how this channel came about. It's like my affinity and my love for hip hop, you know, and it's just in reality, it's just kind of like a taste, right? I mean, I grew up doing hip hop just like you know, with the graffiti and I make music and I'm an MC, and you know, it has that little tinge, that artistic kind of flair, the Sober Squad, you know. Tell me about that. Tell me about, did you write this?
No, all right.
Design this? Tell me
so
about
look,
the name.
check this out.
How it came about.
Check this out. All right, so growing up underground hip hop, one of my favorite artists was Quasar, Rhyme Fighters, Cola Crew, Project Blowed. Always idled that his stilo, he just got so many different styles, you know what I mean? And when I got sober, I had hit him up for some CDs. Like, I was like, bro, I need some CDs and some shirts. And he does hand styles, lettering, you know. I was like, man, so he shot me the print, or the, what'd you call it, the JPEG, or PDF file, right? He's like, hey, on the low, I got you. He came up with the 2 different styles. And so I made sure the next day, you know, and I posted it, and he had responded with, I could come up with styles and all this. It's all about what you do with it. Big ups to Sober Squad, you know, and that's just big. That's I ain't, you know, I don't idolize anybody, but that's why look up. Yeah, that's
like a full circle moment.
Independent artist, dog. That
in
just
and of itself, bro. Like, depending on who you ask, like hip hop can be a negative thing or it can be a positive thing. We got into the substances, you know. We got into these things, but the hip hop in and of itself, man, it's just like, it's just expression. You know what I'm saying? And that's a big full circle moment, dude. That's love. That's dope, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, big ups to Quasar. You know, once in a while we'll chop it up. I'll see him at a show. You know, it's all love, man. It's all love. But yes, so as the idea came about, you know what I'm saying, it started with shirts. It started with, you know, representing at meetings, as far as like, you know, we come 4 deep, 5 deep. And we just represent, you know, and we had other people started saying that, what, you know, and that would just catch, you know, and this is a program of attraction. And one thing I know is that if someone sees you enjoying yourself in recovery, man, we're not a glum lot, right? We right, yeah. I did not get sober to be miserable. You know, I did that for so long, you know. yeah, so we turned it into something bigger. I can't really get into details about what it is in total, but I'll just consider it as a support network, Sober Squad support network. You know, we help men, help women. You know, we mess with the principles and the traditions. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's going on 4 years strong with that. Yeah, dude.
Awesome. Well, let's get back into your story, man. So,
Okay.
You went from Whittier, not Whittier. Where were you?
Covina. Yeah.
To Tahoe, to treatment in Pomona.
Yeah.
So, kick things off from there.
Yeah, so I completed residential treatment. Got to RBH, which is like the Medi-Cal funded sober living for what it is, and started getting little jobs here and there. Just stepping stones, you know what I mean? Just stepping stones. Still not even sure if this was going to work out for me, because I had seen people come to the treatment center with me and they just fell off,
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it, because like in my head I'm like, this ain't good enough for you.
Yeah.
Like, what? I thought we were on the same page, And I wouldn't say resentment, but I'm just like, man, like. But I realized that this is my recovery. Some people it ain't their time, and there'll always be a seat for you, but it just sometimes other people. Some of us have to go for others to make it. This guy told me that one. That's a good one though. So yeah, I worked my way up, and shout out Shelly. She's our ED at Grandview Foundation. She's seen something in me that I didn't see myself. You know what I'm saying? And she asked me. Here's a funny thing, right? So I was working at this dog grooming place, and my counselor at the time had called me during work and was like, "Hey, come over to outpatient now. We need to talk to you." I dropped what I did. I told my boss, I gotta go. I don't know what it is, And she's like, okay. So I went to the outpatient office. It was Shelly, my counselor, and one of the other outpatient counselors. They sat me down, and one of the counselors like, you know what you did, right? And I'm like, what? I thought I was running a clean program, honest program, like I'm working the steps, making my groups.
Yeah.
And Shelly goes, we want to hire you. I go, wow. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I said, I'd be honored, I'd be honored. She's like, put your 2 weeks in. Mind you, this is the only job I've ever had where I'm going out honorably, and they're going to miss me. And
the dogs are going to miss you.
Right, hey, for real. Shout out Little B, man. He's a cool little labradoodle or something, but he was cool, dog, But talk about a spiritual experience, man. It's like feeling like I'm contributing to this world instead of just taking, because I've done that forever, And so I got started in treatment. Was a rad T, tech for a minute, and then they rolled out this peer support specialist position, which is like basically through your lived experience, you're able to mentor these guys and show them the ropes of how you did it, and just through interactions, create this connection, And it's been such a great experience just seeing the light come on, And one thing I gotta make clear is that working in treatment is great, but it's not my recovery. You know what I'm saying? That's totally. I keep that totally separate, Because you're dealing. I'm gonna be honest. You're dealing with sick people. You're dealing with sick. We're spiritually sick, and if you're not spiritually fit yourself, it's gonna be hard to.
Okay, so let's pause for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I like to take pauses and make sure that people, if people out there listening that have never been to treatment or are considering going to detox treatment, or maybe want a loved one to go.
Mm-hmm.
You started off in treatment yourself, and then you ended up working in treatment. Tell us about what treatment is and what someone can expect, and any advice you might have to someone out there listening.
So I mean, the willingness is got to be key. You got to be willing to try something different. Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different outcomes. But I mean, as far as detox, it's like we need to get. We need to get this bug off us, whatever that is, the poison out of us, and get our mind right. Detox for me was a place to rest, a place to get some fluids and some food, and have some time to decide whether I'm gonna run, because I'm used to running, or I'm gonna stick it through and try something different, you know, residential treatment, especially where I went, man, Grandview is, and mind you, this is my first treatment center, you know, but for the experience I had there, and just hearing from the other guys that had been to other treatment centers, it's like home. The first thing, I pulled up from detox, the Uber dropped me off in Pasadena, and I was greeted with chicken fried steak and eggs and hash browns for breakfast, you know, and I was like, I don't deserve this, you know, I don't deserve this, like, and just it's so different because like they're not forcing 12 steps upon you. It's like we're gonna try different elements and see whatever sticks to you, whatever you can relate with, and whatever that's helping you get through this. Let's go full force, you know. So I kind of got to find myself, you know, and like I said before, knowing that it's life or death for me, I need everything. So the groups are great, you know. The H&I panels, big H&I panels, you know, come through that, you know, when it was kind of a COVID thing, you know, where we weren't allowed to go to outside meetings, so just the time that they took to come speak to us and give us some hope was great.
That must have been tough, man.
Yeah, it was a trip, man. And then residential treatment, I mean, then RBH afterwards, you know, so if you do what you got to do and refrain from getting write-ups or, you know, whatever that consists of, you are eligible to get into RBH, which is rehabilitation bridge housing. And what they do is they house you through your Medi-Cal as like a sober living for up to a year now. I think they've you know, expanded that. It used to be 3 to 6 months when we were in there. So we had to have a job within a month, start saving. They wanted 70% of the check, which is safe. Wherever that money's going, it's safe, you know, it's just so that we're prepared for the next step. And like I said, I was interested in like maybe possibly working in treatment, but I didn't have any know-abouts how to get there, you know. And she seen something in me, I guess, you know, and I've been working there since, you know, and basically like today I work in outpatient with my good friend. We try our best to lead these guys to hope, you know, or something that they could grasp upon that's gonna work, you know, because their best thing got them there, you know.
Yeah.
It's all about looking in the mirror now and taking some responsibility for our actions and getting to the solution, you know. That's where it comes. Like that's where it's at. Is getting some clarity of thought, setting some goals, you know, little by little achieving them, whether that's getting up, making your bed, bro, making your bed, start your day off
Tell
with.
people it's the little things like that you know, we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, and it might seem trivial, but focus on the little things that you can control, and those little things are big, man. My first, you know, couple months in sobriety, man, I was just, I couldn't sleep. I was just going, you know, they sent me on my way with like 10 Ativan.
Oh.
And I like cherished those little Ativan because I was dying, dude.
Yeah.
I was dying. I had no insurance, so they strapped me to some IV. They found out I didn't have insurance, so they sent me on my way with 10 Ativan. And as soon as I ran out of that, I was left to fend for myself, sweating and not being able to sleep. And I really just relied on calling my sponsor and cleaning the house, man.
Mm-hmm.
I must have rearranged the room my sister gave me like, you know, maybe 100 times. But guess what? It gave me a little bit of purpose, you know, like these are my things. I'm going to take care of these things, and let me just kind of rearrange my stuff and then clean, and it helped me clear my mind a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
So let's keep this ball moving. So you knew you had it, or like we like there was God's grace did enter your life, or like where were you spiritually, right? This is a spiritual program of action, and it requires conscious contact, right? Higher power, all the stuff that we do in order to stay in recovery, man. What was that like for you? Did you have your feet on the ground? What happened after that?
Yeah, at no point could I say that I said I got this, and that's still, as a recovered alcoholic, it's never in my vocab, because that consists of me being cured, right? That entails that I got this figured out, you know, and I suffer from alcoholism, not alcoholism, so yesterday's recovery ain't gonna keep me sober today, you know. So I got to continue to be teachable, you know. And as far as like spirituality, man, I kept it simple as in the beginning, right? It was like energy. Everything consists of positive, negative energy, you know. And it grew from there. I'm a total nature person, dude. I enjoy fishing.
That's big, y'all. That's
Fishing.
big. If you're not a big nature person, try it, bro. Try it. Go out there, touch. Go out there, man, and get a new relationship with Mother Earth, man.
My sponsor told me if you don't believe in, because I didn't have a problem, but here's an easy concept of God, right? You go out to the beach and you try to stop those waves. You know, you try to stop the waves. Simple, right? You know, unexplainable, you know, stuff in motion that just I can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? Like Mother Nature, whether that's just the rain, sun, like it's beyond my scope. And the one thing I had to figure out and come to grips with is, as long as I know it's not me, you know, this higher power, it's so simple. Of my understanding, it's just not me.
I love that, dude.
I ain't it.
Because left to our own devices, man, we're going to want to try to solve every little thing and pack it all back in here, man.
Yeah.
That just can't be, dude.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, I didn't get sober to be miserable, man. And like the things that I used to have fun with as a kid, I just ordered some. I remember I told you I played hockey for like my whole life, you know. I just ordered a pair of skates, gear, and my buddy, shout out Sam, he has a hockey team. He plays in West Covina, and I've been to a couple of his games, and he wants to get me to play in the league right there, and I'm pretty much there. I just need a helmet. We're good. I'm gonna get back to it, dog. Yeah. Something that brought me true joy before the drugs and alcohol.
I think I can relate to you big time, man. As far as the graffiti goes, I fell in love with hip hop, you know, and it's just like, it's such a deep rabbit hole of like identity and like the physicality of it, the visual aspects, and it just takes over your life. But like Mother Nature, man. I grew up in Pasadena. Altadena was my backyard, going up to doing all the hikes in the foothills there, right? But sports too, man. Soccer, like these things, man. That competitive nature, and how do these? I mean, you're gonna hop right back into hockey, but how do these things play a role in your recovery now, man? What is it like to get back into the things that you love sober, and what's the difference like for you? What's it been like?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I used to play hockey without the use of drugs and alcohol. Before that was an issue, you know. So, and I remember the sense of accomplishment, winning championships, you know, scoring goals, seeing my dad like, yeah, you know, and like it brings me back to like true joy, bro, true joy. And one thing is like, you know, getting sober. I remember, you know, like my dad's 70 right now, you know, and he's a successful man, and I honor that dude, man. But I wanted to like stick around for his retirement. You know, I wanted to be present for his retirement. He used to play hockey too. He was in an adult league when I was, you know, so that's something we shared a bond with, was like that and other sports, but playing together, not on the same team, but the same rink and all that. Yeah, just to get to a place of like, because they say when you start your addiction, when you start using, is where you leave off, right? And I want to get to a place that I could say that I'm picking back up. I'm picking back up. Like, this is only the beginning. You know, I could put myself in a place that I have options today. That's what it is. I have time and options. You know, like
the beauty of that, right?
Yeah, I graduated high school 2 years ago. When I graduated, when I got my certificate for peer support, I also got my diploma. And it's crazy. My parents were in the crowd, and my boss told me that she heard them say, "Did you ever think you would see this day?" And she told me that, and I was like, wow, you know, it's just big. It's just big. Like things that I never thought I would accomplish. Anything's possible, man. Anything's possible.
So tell me about that. Tell me what role education has played in your life. And first of all, congratulations, man. It's like we get to build our lives back up again and be present and do and be and accomplish things, and we have the rest of our lives ahead of us, man. We could have died several times over, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just, what a blessing, man. What a blessing. What advice do you have right now to people struggling, to people that are in their active addiction, and some people that are teetering, that know that it's getting bad, and are coming to that kind of realization that something's got to give?
People care. First things first, people care. There's help. There's help out there. You know, it starts with a little bit of courage. A little bit of courage to make that phone call. You know, make that phone call. Just vocalize your emotions to somebody. You know, and don't sell yourself short. You're capable. You know, you're capable. And it's crazy because, like, I was the type that I see homies now, like, that I used to party with and stuff, and I'll run into them, you know, when I go visit my dad in Covina or whatever, and they tell me, like, bro, I never thought you'd get sober. Like, you, out of everybody, like, went the hardest, dude. And I know that, dude. Like, when I first got to the rooms of recovery, I had people, like, heard people share, and some people would be like, oh, yeah, I wasn't one of them because I was the opposite. Like, I was like, these guys didn't get high like me. Like, there's no way. Like, you know. But come to find out, there's people just like me, you know. Different backgrounds, but same disease, you know. And if you want change, it takes you know, some effort, you know, some action, which is, I don't know what to do. Can you tell me what to do?
Yeah.
Can you show me how? Can you show me how you did it? Or just yeah, we deserve a break. You know, we deserve a break. It's kind of hard to get stuff done when you're totally obliterated, like, just at all times. You know.
Yeah.
So the people out there struggling, man, I suggest, you know, just look out for one another. If you feel like someone in your family is you know, spiraling, or maybe one of us, make that call for them. Sometimes that helps. I get a lot of calls, you know, of family members, you know, worried about their son, their daughter, their brother, don't really know how to go about getting them help, you know. First things first is they got to want it, you know, and next thing is making that call. Like I said, just the attempt to surrender. Like and I've seen a lot of people just come there just for, you know, I'm just gonna do 30 days, you know. It's like, okay, that's great. They've been there for 3 years now, you know, and their life is being recreated, just for the simple fact that they admitted they were an alcoholic and addict, and that they needed some help and didn't know much, but they're willing to try something.
How it goes, huh? So, talk to us about how it's been, man. How it's been now. What's life like for you right now, and what plans do you have for the future?
Life is good, man. I've realized that this is only like the breakthrough. Like, you know, I just celebrated 4 years on May 24th, and
congrats, big dog. That fourth year felt different, man. I felt like I'm mature, man. Like I have this blessing, but I'm a pillar, dude. Like I'm a pillar at my meetings, and they look at me like, oh, what do we do? You know, like, oh, like, ask him, like, I'm a pillar, dude. I get to,
right.
You know.
Thank God. You know what I mean? Thank God. I'm just a vessel, and that's one humble experience is that I had to have is like, this is great, but watch your ego because this ain't your making. I catch it. I catch it.
That, bro.
Yeah. I have to catch myself because like I could be like running 4 years strong. We're doing great things, and left to me, nah, that's not me, dog. I'm just walking the walk, dude, and like being used by the greatest out there, and it's beyond words. You know what I mean?
What are some plans for the future for you? So you're working in treatment right now?
Yeah, peer support specialist, Grandview Foundation. If you or your loved one struggling, you can get at me at blake@grandviewfoundation.com. You know, send me an email. We could try to get your loved one, you know, some help. But plans, you know, I'm really thinking about getting into addiction studies at Glendale Community College. Just to, you know, to have another credential in my background or to
That's so important nowadays, man.
Yeah.
go educate yourself, and hopefully they give you a little notch in pay too.
Yeah, that's good. That's for sure. Cherry on top. But like I enjoy what I do. You know what I mean? And it's never like, oh, I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
Nah. It's like, how can I be of service in any way possible?
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? And just maintain what I have, but also grow at the same time.
Right.
Because so far, it's been one door opening up after another, and I just got to stay out of the results.
Yeah.
I pray, but I cannot be in the results. It's not. That's not my.
No.
It's not my business.
No. Tell me about, what you see nowadays. When you talked about fentanyl stuff, I work in downtown, and I'm driving through 7th every single day, man. What's it like, dude? Like, is it hard? Is it hard to see people coming in? And like, what do you see? Like, what is? We can help. We can help people on this level, but
Right.
what needs to change, man? People are dying out there, and man, it's hard. It's hard to see. It's hard to we have this beautiful city, and it's, I don't know, man. Like, what are your thoughts?
It's ugly, man. It's ugly. It's crazy because like that was me, that was me. But now looking on the other side, it's like people get so used to being, on the streets or just the hustle, the chaos, and it's like you thrive in that community for so long. That becomes natural,
It becomes your norm.
Right. But to be honest, like I don't know whether it's the fentanyl or just all the above, but people are losing their minds. Underlying mental health issues. It's it's scary because like how am I so lucky? How am I still talking to you like we're having a conversation? There's medication for that type of stuff. I got to leave my beliefs. I got to keep my beliefs to myself. I had to go through the pain. I had to go through the withdrawal and that thorough ass beating, or to get on the other side and say never again. This time we're not doing that again. But there's Suboxone, especially for fentanyl, but have a plan with it. I see people on it hiring doses with no plan, and that's just another monkey on your back, man. That just that withdrawal from that is twice as bad, But it's meant for detox. Let's get you comfortable enough where you can get through detox and then chip away. Then just. But yeah, man, it's a killer. Now they're mixing it with Trank and all this stuff. Thank God I got out of it before that. Flesh-eating stuff, Narcan doesn't work for that stuff. It's an epidemic, man.
So what advice do you have to people right now, people watching, that they could do right now at this very moment? They can't stop drinking, they can't stop using, they can't stop, but mentally at least, what is something that they can hold on to? What is some advice that you can give them right away?
It gets better. Once you're willing to accept the fact that your way of living is getting you to places that you are disliking or miserable in, you have to try something. You have to try something.
So you talked about the butt whooping, and I like to use that analogy because that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Pain, the suffering, the ultimately of hitting a wall where it's just like, I don't want to do that anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? That gift of desperation that we received, that I received. How does one become willing when they don't know when they've hit? I know, like in my experience, I can only speak for myself. Like I literally, crashed and burned. Mm-hmm. But how does one become willing?
That's a good question. That's a good question. It takes what it takes. It takes what it takes. You can't do for him, her, them, it. It has to come within. It has to come from within.
That's big. You have to do it for yourself. Right.
Because nothing if you're deep in your addiction, nothing's more important than the next one. It doesn't matter if it's your family, it doesn't matter if your wife. And it's not even purposely like that. It just, I'm so distracted by the next one. It doesn't even I don't even recognize what I did wrong until it's too late, and then I'm trying to make up for, all the things I put people through. But come to an understanding that there is a way out. There's a way out of this. There's a solution. But there's some action that has to be involved. Faith without works. Like, I could wish upon a star that I get sober. But if I'm not putting any effort into it, what's gonna happen? Probably nothing. You know what I mean? Pour me another. So it's just say a prayer. Say a prayer and put some thought into that prayer. Follow that prayer with some action.
Right on,
go forth, and just dig in. Like I said before, getting sober is the hardest part. Like, attempting to, because for me it was like, what if I get some time, go back, I'm gonna die. That's always been my issue. Get away from the substance for a month or two, a year in jail. But when I get out,
right.
Now my tolerance ain't the same. Right. Now I take one hit.
It feels good again.
No, I'm saying, from slamming fentanyl for so long, I thought I was untouchable. I thought I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? But you get away from it for time, and now your tolerance is, you don't have any tolerance.
You might mess around and die,
yeah,
man.
exactly. So that's why I take it so serious, bro, because it is that,
Yeah. So another question here, because I see it and I deal with it. Say someone has become kind of willing to at least go to a couple of meetings, get a little candid, right, with somebody, a relative, someone like me or you, but they're still in the way right here, right? The noise is still on, right? The chatter and the this and that and the disease is still talking to them. They don't want to go to treatment, this and that. How does one start getting those cobwebs out enough to start listening and taking a little more of the action that's actually going to kind of push them into change?
I mean, take it one moment at a time, bro. One moment.
So you said it. I literally just talking to my cousin about this. Hey, it's 1 moment at a time.
Contrary action. My mind is telling me, go pick up a bottle. I'm gonna do the opposite. As hard as that sounds, because it sounds so easy right now, right? But I get it. It's automatic. I'm just, when there's no barrier between my thought and the drink, it just go. It's not, I need to be tapped into something that's gonna prevent me from me and the insanity that I cause myself. Try something different. Get to a meeting, and even if you don't like it, just listen. You're gonna hear something eventually. You're gonna hear something that you can relate with. And then you ask questions like, how can you help me? Gratitude. Wake up in gratitude. What am I grateful for? Yeah, life's not treating me so well, but what am I grateful for? What do I have?
Yeah.
It might not be so clear right away, but
Crazy how quickly 53 minutes passes by, man.
Wow.
We've had people in the comments, man. Paula Gomez, Gary Alexander, my boy Hector, Lecilicious. I don't know. These are YouTube.
What up, Paula?
These are YouTube names. Renato Rivas.
What's up, Renato?
Rogelio Nene. Yeah, we have had people in the comments, man.
That's my squad right there. Hey, squad. Man.
So where you at, man? Where can people find you, bro?
Oh, shoot. You know what's crazy? I don't really promote like that, but if you need some help, if you need some help,
man, tap in.
Yeah.
Tap in.
Blake at grandviewfoundation.com.
Email, man.
Yeah.
It starts with little things like that, man. And a lot of times people are scared to do these little things because they know that if they do, they might actually do some things that are gonna get them sober.
Right.
They don't have the bottle anymore. They're not gonna have. But what you're gonna have A whole new life.
Yeah.
Man, a whole new life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Any last comments, bro? We got a couple minutes here, bro.
Sober squad to the death. You know, just remain teachable in anything you do. You know, so there's always room for improvement. You know, God bless everybody. You know, and like I wish I had all the answers to everybody's problems. You know, and it's just not like that. But we could break it down into a simpler matter, and we can get to causes and conditions if you're really ready.
Right
You know?
on, Blake.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to end the live stream here. I'm thanking everybody for tuning in. Thank you for coming, man. 10 p.m. I know it could be a little late, but I appreciate you, man.
Of course.
Where are you at now, bro?
I'm in Pasadena still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Right on, right on, right on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for coming in, dude. It's crazy times we're living in, man. Not just